Hey folks, Julius Twisted Christian coming to you with a video about gold. And we're going to talk about some of the things that happened around a year ago and how it could affect now. Because the past can affect the future. And we're going to be talking about fake gold. Do you hold any fake gold? Depends on how you bought it. And we'll see how the banks are connected to this fake gold scam. But first we get into that, I'd like to thank you guys for your support on the Patreon. As you guys already know, I have an animated project called the Grigori, and we're trying to get our Grigori Legends project off the ground. Your support is appreciated. If you guys like these videos, please give us a support. The Patreon links are down below in the description. Alright folks, in my last video, I talked about the banking industry and the crash and how it's connected. There's a lot of money laundering, a lot of criminal activity that is going on with the banking system. But it's also happening in the gold markets. But one of the things that I want to bring up is, JP Morgan is all over this thing with the money laundering thing. And I want you to go back to a little bit over a year ago when the cargo ship owned by JP Morgan Chase seized by US with 20 tons of the white stuff. Right? And that's huge. And are they involved? Are they involved heavily in the black market, in the illegal markets? So I think that's all going to remain to be seen. So you could see this giant fall. This could be one of the numerous banking systems that could definitely fall. But I'm also going to show you here in a moment, they're also connected to fake gold as well. Now, just doing some research back in 2019, there's tons of articles about the issues with fake gold. It was problematic in 2019. And I'm sitting here thinking, how could that affect the future gold market if all these either banks or central banks or people, individuals, how do they know they have invested in gold that's even real? And there's a lot of fake gold out there in the markets. This article back in 2019, Institute says all that glisters isn't gold. The Gem and Jewelry Institute of Thailand has issued a warning against so-called clone gold, a widespread type of fake gold made of metals thickly coated with real gold to make it difficult to tell if it is real or counterfeit using basic gold testing techniques. The director of GIT said the Institute is getting an increasing number of requests to test the authenticity of gold items, including gold bars, and many which turned out to be cloned gold. The basic testing techniques such as filling the surface of the gold or scanning it failed to peer deep enough to find the fake gold content inside. The basic testing techniques such as filing the surface of the gold or scanning it, failed to peer deep enough to find the fake content inside. Many fake gold items appear genuine as they have a thick layer of gold on the top which prevents the metal inside from being exposed. The fake gold is increasingly found among gold bars which were being traded in the market. Most of them contain a tungsten bar inside which is thickly coated with real gold. They weigh exactly the same as a real gold bar. In some cases, the fake gold bars are found to have either lead or brass inside of them. Most of the fake gold items are sold over the internet at unusually cheap prices. Using ultrasonic waves and a lab test on gold items suspected to be fake, the Institute has made several discoveries of fabricated gold. Alright, so here's another article. Exclusive fake branded bars slip dirty gold into world markets. Gold bars fraudulently stamped with logos of major refineries are being inserted into the global market to launder smuggled or illegal gold, refining and banking executives tell Reuters. The fakes are hard to detect, make them ideal fun runner for narcotic dealers or warlords. In the last 3 years, bars worth at least 50 million stamped with Swiss refinery logos but not actually produced by those facilities have been identified by all 4 of Switzerland's leading gold refineries around the vaults of JP Morgan and Chase. So there we go, we got JP Morgan again. One of the major banks at the heart of the market in the bullion, said senior executives at gold refineries, banks, and other industry sources. The latest fake bars are highly professionally done. said Michael Masaryk, the chief executive of the refinery Valcambi. He said maybe a couple thousand have been found, but the likelihood that there is way, way, way more still in circulation and it exists and it still works. Fake gold bars. Blocks of cheaper metal plated with gold are relatively common in the gold industry and often easy to detect. Now, in this case, the gold is real with very high purity with only markings faked. Fake branded bars are relatively a new way to flout global measures to block conflict minerals and prevent money laundering. Such forgeries pose a problem for international refineries, financiers, and regulators as they attempt to purge the world of the illicit trade in bullion. So here JP Morgan declined to directly address questions about the fraudulent bullion or comment on any of the details in the story. They're involved. JP Morgan's got their hands in a lot of things, and you're going to see that. All right, folks, and this is just one example out of many because this is actually a worldwide problem. There's a lot of fake gold out there, fake gold bars. And so all this, it just gets deeper and deeper. Now, if you don't already know, there was that Chinese firm, and in this article it says Chinese firm dumps 83 tons of fake gold on the market. Over 2 billion of loans may have been backed by fake gold, finds the corruption probe. This does lead to a lot of banks. This leads to a lot of different entities being in on the scam itself, especially in China, where you have all these companies are just falling apart with all these different scandals, such as this one, and there's some other financial scandals that are going on over there. So the companies that are involved with this, they just have tanked, and there's criminal investigations that are currently going on. Now it says here in this article, how much fake gold held as collateral is fake. It's not the first time fake gold has been used as collateral in China. In 2016, regulators found gold bars with black tungsten at their center, backing $2.5 billion loan. A special government task force has been set up to further investigate the fraud. So that was back in 2016. So you don't really know how much is out there. But the latest revelation sure to spark about how much gold is held as collateral is genuine and how practical gold is a reserve asset. In the last 4 years, at least 50 million worth of fake gold, allegedly from Swiss refineries, have been found in the vaults of JP Morgan Chase, one of the largest banks at the center of the bullion market. So what's going to happen? So this article here, Wuhan company now at the center of one of the biggest fake gold scandals. This article says more than 4 billion in loans. In this article here, because of everything that's been happening, all the news revelations going on with the money laundering and everything else, and then with this, you have China's biggest gold fraud. 4% of reserves may be fake. So that's huge concerning China, their reserve assets. How much of this fake gold is out there? All right, and then there was another big scandal dealing with this company and gold. In the U.S. Treasury Department abandoned major money laundering case against Dubai Gold Company. Basically, there was a probe insight into the illicit gold trade dealing with that company. They were designated as a threat to the gold industry, and they were also, because they were dealing with a lot of the money laundering for drug traffickers, criminal organizations. But this is a really good article to read, but I'm going to put this article down below in the description. This article deals with the whole money laundering thing, and as you can see here with this case, and this they actually have a pretty good case. They just decided not to pursue it for whatever reason. In 2014, the task force recommended the Treasury Department designate, I don't know how to say the name of this company, as I would just say Kaladi. I would designate Kaladi a money laundering threat under the U.S. Patriot Act, a seldom used measure known as a financial death penalty because it can freeze a firm out of international banking system. But they decided not to do that. But this company is known to be dealing with all these different types of groups, the money laundering, helping bad guys get the cash, and one of the ways they do this is through gold. It says here the investigation came to light in a batch of secret bank filings that describe the flow of more than 2 trillion suspicious transactions through the global banking system. JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, and other financial institutions flooded the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network with warnings about Kalati, flagging as suspicious thousands of transactions worth 9.3 billion that occurred between 2007 and 2015. So they're really going to look at that, and when they follow the money on when this whole investigation is done with what they call the FinCEN files. Okay, folks, that's what it's called. And when they start really releasing this information, how the banks are involved, individuals are involved, you're going to see a lot of the banking system fall. Now, when it comes to the gold, and what I was saying is if you've bought from the internet, your gold may not even be real. Now, there's a lot of reputable gold companies out there, and a lot of their gold is probably minted right here in the United States. But if you've bought from other sources, you need to check to make sure that your gold is real. And what about your investments, right? If you're investing online with gold, right, you don't where you don't actually have to physically purchase it. Where do they get their gold from? Because in these articles that I've been reading to you, they don't know how much gold is out, how much fake gold out there. The guy said there's way, way, way more out there. How could this affect the gold market? If it was revealed that central banks and other banks have fake gold, right? People who are millionaires who've invested a lot, maybe I don't know all the ins and outs of investing in gold, but if you're going to invest physically in the millions of dollars worth of gold, who knows? The gold that you invested in may not even be all gold, real gold. So this investigation is blowing, first of all, the banking financial system, but how could this affect the gold markets? You could take a look at it as, okay, well, if all these central banks and all these, whether you're personally holding it, and let's say there's just these big scandals with gold, is it going to drive the price down, right? Or is it going to drive the price back up because now we don't have as much gold in circulation as we did before? And I'm willing to bet my money on that if a scandal did occur, I believe right now at this point it could very well drop or break the price because nobody's going to know. There's too much uncertainty with these major investors, with these major companies investing in gold, when we don't even know if the gold is even real. And it could be a scandal that reaches into a lot of the different banks here in the United States. So that's something that we're going to watch. We need to watch what's going on with the gold industry concerning this thing with the banking industry. It's connected together, because anytime that you're dealing with money laundering, and I've read the articles where gold is one of the things that they use to launder money. So I believe that all this is just the tip of the iceberg dealing with the gold industry. And the reason why I went back to the older articles is because the gold market was being flooded with fake gold. And now we're seeing the revelations, what's going on with China. Well, what happens when banks, financial institutions, people holding millions of dollars worth of physical gold, those type of investors, or even you who just bought some off the internet thinking that you're getting a good deal on gold, and it might not even be real. So you guys need to watch that, and that's something that we need to look out for, because I think it's something that could break the price of gold. So we just need to be very careful, and that's what Kim Clement said, is to don't rely too much on gold. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, and I think this is going to lead to maybe an audit of the world gold, of the gold holdings. Every country, whatever, maybe an audit will come out of this, and I think a lot of banks are going to start doing auditing. And what's going to happen if they start finding out they have a lot of fake gold? What if J.P. Morgan and Chase has way more? What if they have the tungsten gold? Where what China was doing, they were just straight up lying, saying it was gold, and it was really just another metal. So folks, beware, keep a watch on this, and we'll see what happens and see how it affects the markets, see how it affects the banking system, because this is just the tip of the iceberg with these investigations, and you're going to see a lot more come out probably in the next, anywhere from now over the next 3 months. when the government and these officials start releasing this information, where was this money going to? Who was it coming from? What banks are involved? Who are the players? So we're going to see all that. Folks, I thank you for listening. I'm not trying to scare anybody into not buying gold or investing in gold. I'm just putting the warnings out there. And the whole thing with the banking system, and you're going to see it fall apart. This could have an effect on gold because gold is involved in a lot of this illicit activity that was going on. So the best thing is, and the best advice, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm investing in mining companies as opposed to physical gold. Because I think in the end, I don't think we're going to need, people say that we're going to have to be bartering with gold and silver. And it might actually happen in some areas or some areas in other countries. But I don't think here in the United States it's going to get that bad. Because right now you can't go into a grocery store. You can't go into a gas station. You can't do anything with your gold. And if things get that bad, who's to say you can even exchange your gold, for cash? That's what they say. That's what there's a lot of people saying, like the dollar's going to crash. And I got another video coming out that deals with what Kim Clement said about the dollar not crashing. But is it really going to get that bad where you feel like you need to buy $10 or $20 or $30,000 worth of physical gold? And if you have already, I'd for sure be making sure that the gold that you have purchased is real, no matter where you bought it from. Anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. Like I said, if you like these videos, give us a support on the Patreon, give us a like, give us a share. God bless. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.